Adding raw foods to your daily food intake can have hugely beneficial impacts on your health, vitality, and ultimately your ability to lose weight. When I speak about raw foods, I'm not referring to a raw food diet, which is essentially a diet exclusively based on eating raw foods without any cooked food whatsoever. What I'm talking about is adding raw foods to your existing diet, which will typically be cooked to some degree. I'm making this distinction because a diet that is exclusively raw food based will tend by its very nature to exclude meat and fish. And in my personal and professional experience and opinion, I believe every one of us needs both of those in our diet, at least to some degree, to function optimally and have a fully healthy and vital body. And as I said, that will differ, the requirements will differ from person to person. Added to that, not cooking certain foods limits the nutrient availability in certain foods. It prevents those nutrients becoming unlocked and available for the body, clearly limiting the value of those foods when eaten. So those two factors put together are why I'm not condoning a diet that is exclusively raw based. So what happens when food's cooked? Anything that's cooked at a temperature of above or around about 118 degrees Fahrenheit will kill or denature the enzymes found within those foods, rendering those foods essentially dead. And that's the case because enzymes within the body act as a catalyst for all the biochemical reactions that are occurring every second of every day within you. These biochemical reactions are sustaining life itself, so without them, you simply wouldn't be alive. So the catalysts, which are the enzymes, are critical within that. So if you're killing off those enzymes, then you're essentially killing the food and its potential to sustain the life within you, quite bluntly. So conversely, what happens when you don't cook foods is that those enzymes remain intact. And when I say don't cook foods, I'm particularly talking about vegetables. So when you don't cook those vegetables and you eat them in their raw state, or at least you don't cook to a threshold in which those enzymes are killed and denatured, so that's around about 118 degrees Fahrenheit, those enzymes stay intact. And that's important because when those foods are then ingested, they will help support digestion and extraction of the nutrients, not only from those raw foods themselves, but from the other foods that you will be eating, the cooked foods, the meat, etc. The body will and does produce its own enzymes, but clearly, in my opinion, it's better to have additional support there through the food you eat than burdening the body to do that and have that responsibility all for itself. So why is that important? Increased ability to digest your food and to then extract the nutrients from them will only help promote your health and vitality. And as I've said before, and I'll say over and over again in the future, optimal health and vitality are critical to your weight loss. And in my personal and professional experience, you cannot have one without the other. Get your health and vitality up and your weight will drop off. So that is why raw foods are critical and a key component to sustaining not only your health and vitality, but helping with your weight loss also. And you know what? Incorporating raw foods into your diet doesn't have to be difficult. I am in no stretch of the imagination a creative or even a good cook. I am more focused on buying the best quality food I can and eating to my metabolic needs. I keep things very simple. So what I mean by that is I will throw in as many salads as I can into the day, so keeping those foods raw by eating salads. And as I said, if you're a better cook than I am, which is not hard, as long as you're cooking vegetables under that threshold of 100, around about 118 degrees Fahrenheit, then you'll still be getting the enzyme capabilities of those foods into your digestive system and getting all the benefits of those raw foods. So go ahead and experiment. Have raw foods through salads, and obviously coming within that raw food category of fruits that you can consume throughout the day, but also cook foods that aren't above that threshold. So try cooking your vegetables a little bit below that and getting the benefits that way. Essentially, food is there to be experimented with. Each and every one of us has different requirements, which goes back to my very first point of not subscribing to a completely raw food diet. I thoroughly believe in certain principles and actions being necessary for the large part for everyone. But beyond that, food should be experimented with. See what works for you. See how your body reacts to and responds to these raw foods and what works best for you. I just am simply promoting an inclusion of raw foods as often as you can, at least on a daily level. If you can do it throughout the day, fantastic. I'm not saying you need to replace your cooked foods. I'm just saying you might want to add raw foods and take some cooked food out, but cooked food is still vital. I eat cooked food every day. I'm not saying don't do that. And other added benefits of eating raw foods. It's time efficient. If you're not having to cook as much, you're just chopping some fresh vegetables into a salad, that's time efficient. And who wouldn't want something that's more time efficient? It can also be more cost effective, because especially with new clients that I see and people that I talk to who are just beginning their goal of improving their health or losing weight or both, whatever it might be, they're typically used to eating processed food, so convenience food that are already packaged. The very fact that they're packaged and processed means that there's additional costs there. So if you're substituting a lot of that for carrots, lettuce, celery, etc., etc., you usually find that you at least end up saving some money. So another added benefit. So I encourage you to go out there, experiment with raw foods in any way you think you can maintain. And that's the beauty of it. It's not an overhaul of your diet. It's simply adding things to what you already do. So I can't see any drawbacks and only positives from trying and adding raw foods into your diet. Good luck with it, and thanks for watching.